The wind didn't arrive suddenly. It crept in. Slow fingers of cold slid down from the peaks, whispering through pine needles, bending branches just enough to be noticed by someone who knew how to listen. The mountain had its own language, and tonight, it was warning anyone willing to hear. Most people didn't, but Jack Rourke did. He stood at the edge of the private mountain lodge, staring out at the darkening sky. Clouds were gathering too fast. Too low, the kind that swallowed sound and erased direction. His jaw tightened, not from fear, but recognition. Behind him, glass doors opened softly. "You wanted to see me," a woman's voice said. Jack turned. Evelyn Cross stood perfectly still, dressed in a tailored coat that probably cost more than his monthly contract. Her hair was tied back neatly, untouched by wind or doubt. She looked exactly like the woman business magazines loved, confident, controlled, untouchable. "Yes," she said, "this won't take long." He waited. "I'm ending your contract," Evelyn continued. "Effective immediately." The words were sharp, clean, surgical. Jack didn't react. No surprise, no anger, just a quiet breath through his nose. "Reason?" he asked. "You don't follow procedure," she replied. "You act independently. You don't wait for authorization." Jack glanced toward the trees again. The wind had picked up. "Sometimes," he said calmly, "waiting gets people killed." Her eyes hardened. "This is a corporate environment, Mr. Rourke, not a battlefield." Something flickered in his expression. Not rage, not pain, memory. He nodded once. "Understood." She handed him an envelope. He took it without opening it. Their fingers brushed for half a second. Evelyn felt something she couldn't explain, a strange weight, like gravity shifting. Jack stepped back. "I'll collect my gear and leave the property," he said. He turned and walked away, boots crunching against gravel, shoulders carrying more than the eye could see. Evelyn watched him go, unaware she had just dismissed the only man on the mountain who understood what was coming. Inside the lodge, warmth and laughter filled the air. Fire crackled. Glasses clinked. Staff moved efficiently. Everything was safe, controlled. On the far side of the room, Leela Cross, 8 years old, sat near the window with her knees pulled to her chest. She pressed her palm against the cold glass, staring at the forest beyond. She liked the quiet places. Her mother was always busy. Always surrounded by people. Always somewhere else even when she was present. Outside, the trees moved like they were breathing. Leela slipped down from her chair. No one noticed. The storm covered the sound of the door opening. By the time the first snowflake fell, Jack had reached the outer trail. He paused. Something was wrong. He knelt down slowly. A footprint. Small, child-sized, fresh. His heart dropped into his stomach. He looked back toward the lodge. The storm clouds were already closing in, erasing the sky. Jack didn't hesitate. He followed the trail into the forest. Panic spread through the lodge like fire. "Where is Leela? She was just here. Check the east wing." Evelyn turned in a slow circle, her mind refusing to accept what her body already knew. Her daughter was gone. The wind slammed against the windows. Snow thickened. Radios crackled uselessly. Someone shouted, "The security contractor, Rourke." He went into the forest. Evelyn rushed outside. Too late. The trees swallowed everything. The forest became another world. Snow erased footprints almost as quickly as it revealed them. Wind howled between trunks, stealing sound and direction. Jack moved with purpose, scanning broken branches, disturbed snow, torn fabric. He found a red mitten hanging from a branch. His throat tightened. "Leela," he called. Nothing. He pressed on. Minutes stretched into hours. Cold clawed at his fingers, but he ignored it. He had endured worse, much worse. Finally, he saw her. She was curled beneath a fallen pine, small body shaking, eyes wide with fear and exhaustion. Jack approached slowly, lowering himself to her level. "It's okay," he said softly. "You're not alone." She stared at him for a long moment. Then her lip trembled. "You came back," she whispered. He nodded. "Always." He wrapped her in his jacket, lifting her carefully. She felt too light. The storm worsened. Visibility dropped to nothing. Jack knew they couldn't make it back. He changed direction, toward higher ground, toward a rock formation he remembered from a map burned into his mind. Every step was a battle. They reached shelter just as night fell. A shallow cave, bare rock, enough to survive. Jack sat with his back to the wind, Leela pressed against his chest. Her breathing was shallow. "You're doing great," he murmured, even as fear crept into his own chest. She slept. Jack didn't. Memories flooded in, mountains overseas, radio calls unanswered, friends he couldn't save. He pulled his dog tags from beneath his shirt, gripping them tightly. "Not again," he whispered. "Not this time. Dash dash dash." Morning came without mercy. Leela coughed violently. Her skin burned with fever. Jack checked his watch. Time was gone. He stepped into the storm, raised a flare he'd saved for emergencies. Red fire tore through white sky. Then, sound. A distant thrum. Growing. Rotors. Jack pulled out his satellite phone. "This is Rourke," he said. "I have a child. Hypothermia. I need a helicopter. Now. Dash dash dash." The helicopter burst through the clouds like salvation. Snow exploded beneath its blades. Medics moved fast. Jack handed Leela over carefully. She reached for him weakly. He squeezed her hand. "You're safe." From the helicopter door, Evelyn Cross watched. Her daughter, alive. The man she fired, standing in the storm, broken and unbroken all at once. Their eyes met. No anger, no pride, just truth. Dash dash dash. At the hospital, Evelyn sat beside Leela's bed, tears falling silently. Jack stood in the hallway, already turning away. "Jack," she called. He stopped. "I was wrong," she said. "I thought power was control." He looked at her. "Power," he said quietly, "is knowing when to protect instead of command." She swallowed hard. "Stay," she said. "Not as an employee, as family." Jack looked at Leela sleeping peacefully. After a long moment, he nodded. For now. Outside, the storm faded. The mountain stood still, scarred, silent, but alive.